a song to sing out loud. Every road we climb, we are one.
Hi friends, my name is Echo Summerhill for those of you that don't know me, and I am so grateful to be here with you today and to be a part of this experience. A quick reminder about the disclaimers you have read today regarding opinions expressed in these teachings and the income disclosure statements. Be sure you keep those in mind as you listen to me and all of the speakers of the VIGC. Today I want to start by telling you a story about a little girl who grew up in small town Texas, who didn't always have the brightest childhood. There were a lot of struggles, trauma, and heartache from a very young age. But as she grew older, she knew within her soul that she was meant for more. So she worked hard at always striving for a better life. She graduated high school at 16 and went to college for a couple of months before realizing that college life just wasn't for her. She worked diligently to always give herself a great life. She had many ups and downs, even throughout her 20s, and even gained some great success, but always felt there was more greatness on the horizon. One day, around 28 years old, she met a man that on paper she said she would have never even dated. He was younger than her, he was a firefighter, a weightlifter, and so many other things that she thought were deal breakers. Well, he soon proved her wrong and swept her off her feet. Within 2 weeks, they were in love. Within 4 weeks, he moved in with her, and within 9 months, yes, 9 months, they had a beautiful baby boy, and then they got married when their sweet boy was only 8 weeks old. They loved and cherished their backwards love story. And then when this woman was around 6 months postpartum, they had something tragic happen, and her husband had ultimately broken both of his legs at the shins on the job, resulting in him losing that position at that fire department at that time, putting him not only in physical distress, but it added mental, emotional, and financial stress to their little family. The woman had struggled a lot emotionally and mentally in the past from her upbringing and other things that had happened to her in life, and the postpartum journey made all of those emotions heightened. She was searching for answers in what seemed like the hopeless situation they were battling. She wanted to feel like herself again, so she could feel calm and happy and actually enjoy this miracle baby that her and her husband had brought into the world. On top of all of that, they got a letter in the mail one day that they never thought they would get in their entire life. And that was a foreclosure notice that told them they had 60 days to figure out how to pay their mortgage. They had fallen behind on it when the husband lost his job and the wife had stopped taking clients with her previous job because of having their baby. A week after getting that letter, miraculously, a friend of the woman she had met years earlier saw that she was struggling and reached out and told her that she had something that might be able to ease some of the emotional and mental discomfort that she was experiencing. This friend sent her some oils, and the woman instantly fell in love with them. She loved the way they made her feel and the joy that was sparked again in her being through their incredible aromas. Like she did with her beautiful love story with her husband, she started to share about the oils on social media like everything else, and all of her friends and acquaintances started messaging her, asking, "How can we get what you're talking about?" And a funny story, this woman was actually against network marketing because of a previous unpleasant network marketing experience where she had felt salesy and pushy and didn't even believe in the products of the previous company. But after some research of Young Living, she soon realized that she could do the business without being your typical pushy salesperson. She actually cared about these oils and products, and the company seemed like they had a heart of gold. So she put her fears aside and decided to jump in head first with Young Living. From that point forward, she shared and continues to share her heart and tell the world about Young Living. Over the years, she's grown a beautiful team and organization with her husband. And within a few years of being with the company, they reached the top rank in the company of Royal Crown Diamond. Of course, with the help of their beautiful tribe and their ever-growing passion for network marketing, Young Living, and the products that they provide. Now, as you can guess, that little girl is me. And I always get emotional talking about all of this because nobody knows my story as deeply and as real as I do. Nobody truly knows what I went through as a child, Nobody fully knows what I went through as an adult, or even with my husband during that type of deep struggle we had to pull out of. And these are happy tears from how far we've come. But I'm happy to report, as far as my husband goes, because some of you might be wondering, he did recover for the most part and got back into his original fire department that he started at 13 years ago. So there was very small lag time in between while he was recovering with his legs. So I'm thrilled to say he's still a firefighter and absolutely loves his career. And as far as myself goes, I am in a completely different mental place now, thanks to the help of so many life changes. One of them being Young Living, the products, and the positive environment that they provide. I also want to add, like you know, telling a 5-minute version of our past story from struggling to Royal Crown Diamond is just a small piece of the puzzle. If you're working this business, you know that this journey in itself is not always an easy one. There were a lot of ups and downs in our journey that we openly shared with our team, and even to this day with our Young Living business, we go through challenges sometimes. And that's just part of being successful and running your own business. You are working with tons of humans, and humans can be fickle. We put in a lot of hours, a lot of work, and so does our ever-growing team. We love all that this business has done for our lives, but it didn't come without dedication, hard work, smart work, and a lot of grit. I wanted to share a little bit about my story and where we've come from in order for you to connect and maybe relate to me in some way. Because today I am here to talk to you about your story. Our stories are what make us who we are, and I believe they are meant to be shared. I love when I am able to tell people different parts of my story, and I get to include things like, I don't think that I ever would have dug deep into my spiritual journey if it weren't for being introduced to Young Living. Why, you ask? Because Young Living introduced me to this more natural, open-minded lifestyle, and without that, I might not have been open-minded to other things like deep spirituality. Sharing the details of your life journey will open people's eyes to so many possibilities. So when you think about your story and really think about where you've come from, maybe what your upbringing was to where you are now, I hope that you've seen some growth, and I hope that you've seen some evolution. What if you're just getting started with Young Living? What is that growth going to look like for you? What do you want your evolution to look like from this day forward? Sharing our stories is a powerful way to grow our business. I always teach my team that people don't buy a kit from you because you post about lemon oil. People buy a kit from you because they relate to you on a personal level. They see a piece of themselves in your stories. People can't relate if you don't share. Just think. People may be watching you choose a better way and a new lifestyle within Young Living that has yielded beautiful transformation, and they probably want a piece of that too. This doesn't mean that you only share your story from the past. The point of the story is a beginning, a middle, the peaks, the valleys, and hopefully you are forever writing and sharing your journey. Maybe you just got your kit and you love the products and you want to share and you aren't sure how to start. I can tell you from experiencing that connecting with people through your stories might be the best way. Some examples of sharing is that you could write beautiful posts sharing your dreams, goals, and desires with the world. What are you working towards for your future? Do you want to start your own charity one day? Do you want to open your own gym? Do you want to send your kids to college? What are you dreaming of? Take people on the journey with you from the beginning. People need to know you, so all of your posts and in-person storytelling doesn't need to be all about Young Living. They need to see the whole picture. Again, they buy a kit from you because they relate to you. Your story is super valuable. I hope, even if it's simply like me in the beginning, when I was emotionally and mentally drained, and I would share how I felt lighter because of that beautiful aroma of valor, or I felt some darkness lifting from the aroma of joy in my heart every day. I hope you find the courage to share bits and pieces of your true self. Show up every day as you. People can relate to that. People can relate to your stories. And you don't have to just share your struggles. That's not what I'm saying at all. What if you had a great childhood? That's awesome. But I am sure that you have overcome some difficulties in life. Share all of your experiences in a way that feels best to you. I want to share one of my biggest tips for my team and all of Team YL. Again, you need to be consistently sharing not just Young Living, but regular life too. And the main tip I have for sharing anything is value. Are you adding value? And what I mean by value is this. My rule of thumb for any post, any story I tell, and anything I share on social media and in-person events is to ask yourself these questions. Are you educating? Are you inspiring? Are you making people laugh, or are you making people feel? If you can't answer yes to at least one of those, then it might not be worth posting. Adding value is one of the quickest ways to grow your following on social media, therefore getting your message and story out there to so many more people. As a side note, but a very important one, I see so many people spreading negativity and hatred in the world, especially on social media, and you don't want to add to that. So make sure you're being authentic and leaving people wanting more with adding value. You want people leaving your event or your social media pages feeling better than when they first visited. So ask yourself, how am I making people feel? Now let me give you an example of adding value in an oils post. I want to ask you, which one of these posts do you feel adds value? Post 1. I want you to picture a picture of lemon oil on a kitchen counter, and the quote simply is, "I love lemon oil." Post 2. The caption reads, "Oh my gosh, I just walked around the corner and Harrison had taken a black marker to the cabinets in the kitchen. My heart just sank into the pit of my stomach, y'all. But then I took a deep breath and realized, okay, wow, I might have something for this. And I ran to my oil cabinet, literally ran. I grabbed the lemon oil and y'all, look at the aftermath of taking a couple of drops of lemon with a paper towel to the black marker on my kitchen cabinets. This lemon oil just saved his life, y'all. Ha ha ha." Insert a picture of Harrison, my son, in front of a clean cabinet holding a black marker and lemon oil looking scared. Now, which one of those posts do you feel added the most value? Post 1 or post 2? I'm assuming if you're human, the second post made you feel something. Either it made you feel sorry for me, made you feel scared for Harrison, or made you laugh. So it added some value to your day, and it told a story you could actually visualize and feel. You have to use your life stories and your daily stories like that as a part of your strategy for growing your business and connecting to people. Also, you notice how I used y'all a few times in my post. That's because that is how I really talk. Small town Texas girl here. So you want to make sure that when you're writing your post or telling your stories that you sound like you. I see so many people using that share button and sharing other people's stories, sharing other people's thoughts. And while I get that's a thing, it's not going to help grow your business or your network, and it doesn't reflect who you are, your thoughts, and your journey. If you want to grow a successful business, people need to get to know you for you. Sharing our stories in person and online about our day-to-day life is a great way to connect with people out there, and a great way to show people what you have to offer as a human being and as a leader in Young Living. So not only should you be sharing about the oils and the products that Young Living has to offer in your own words, I want you to also think about sharing your business journey with others as well. As you know, success doesn't come without dedication, strategy, and support of an organization. Share the incredible work you are doing in the world. Show people how hard you're working. Tell them how you're being intentional with your days in order to eventually provide a new way of living for your family. Again, like I stated in the beginning, you don't just say, "Oh, I got my kit and now I'm Royal Crown Diamond." If it were that easy, everyone would be RCD. But it's not, and you need to take people on the journey with you through it all. That includes your team members, your leaders, and your downline, as well as your prospects. Be the light for someone else with your story. You have a story to tell, even if you think your life has been boring and it's been smooth sailing. I have a task for y'all. I want you to write down 3 things that you have overcome in life. And then I want you to write down 3 things that you have succeeded at or that you're really proud of. I bet you will see you have more stories than you think. I don't know any truly successful people in life that don't have a story to tell. One of my favorite mottos I talk about often is to turn your mess into your message. How can you turn your struggles into incredible teachings? How can you turn your story into beautiful inspiration? Again, you don't just share the mess. You want to share what you learned from it and who you are because of the challenges or even the successes. Share how Young Living products, oils, and the community have assisted and supported you in your growth and transformation. Maybe you haven't had that big transformation that you want yet. That's okay. Again, take people on the journey with you from the beginning. Lead the way for others to open up and share their stories. You may not think you have stories to tell, but I bet if you slowed down and looked back at your week and you have things that you didn't even think you would be able to share. Maybe it's time to step up your sharing game. I am so incredibly different than I was when I started this business, and for the better. And I've constantly shared my transformations and journey, and I know that has played a huge role in my success in this company. I will continue to show up as my authentic, genuine, and vulnerable self, knowing that it helps others in the world. So today, I urge you to start writing your story. Start sharing it in some way with others. Open up your day-to-day life, even if it's just a little bit, so that others can get a peek inside, and maybe, just maybe, you'll see your network and business open up to new possibilities. Your story is needed.
Together.